What's up, DubNation? Rich with Let's Go Warriors back again. And I have some new intel to share with you. Had a conversation last night. We will slowly ease into it and recap as much as we can up until this point, or really up until last night's point where I had the conversation. And get it flowing and get more people on here. So far, the vote in the poll, without having that intel yet, at least without me telling you what it is, looks like it's a dead heat between Cavs or Heat. I kind of purposely put the Cavs and the Heat together as, maybe weighing more than the Warriors, kind of, mathematically. It's probably not the right thing to do in a poll. However, what I'm going to tell you is going to maybe tip the scales a little bit towards the Warriors, but we'll see. We'll see. And let's recap yesterday's cap analysis. I want to give you the agenda here. So agenda one, recap the cap sheets, because in case you didn't, we're not going to go through all the detail that we did last time, obviously, but we will. Here's my back screen. It's on our Discord server right now. By the way, free Discord server, but we'll come back to that and pull up a cap sheet here. Sign in? Yikes. I don't know what happened there. Well, I better sign in here. What is? Oh, okay. It worked all right. Okay. By the way, happy 4th of July, number one. Congratulations to Team France. Vive la France. That's what I'm wearing here, is their jersey, their kit. It was given me by a friend of mine who is French, so I am rooting for them, but to an extent. And if they happen to lose, I wouldn't be heartbroken, but I would feel bad for her because she would be heartbroken. But I digress. Yeah, so agenda number one, recap the cap sheets and eliminate a couple teams. Two, what was number two? Another conversation I had. Yep. And then three, spill the beans. Two, another convo I had. And three, NBA Insider convo. So that is the agenda right there. Let's put that up there for y'alls to see. And you might hear some fireworks in the background, so I can hear it right now. But good to have everybody. So Dylan the Villain, that's funny. We should get let me screenshot this for what's her name? What's her name, guys? She loves making fun of the Dylan Brooks. Nikki. I'm going to go, Nikki, come say hi to Dylan Brooks. All right. Holiday. I'm torn because I think Rui or Trey Murphy would fit the timeline. Well, I have a new timeline, which I need to write an article on this. Palmetto. I have a new timeline. The one where we get to go free agent shopping next summer, like the Lakers did last week. Once again, Go to Hoops Hype. Team salaries. Look at that right here. This is summer 2027, where my cursor is. A lot of money comes off. Porzingis is only guaranteed $3 million. And Moses Moody happens to be the biggest salary of next summer, believe it or not, so far. Obviously, we're going to re-sign Steph. But I've had that discussion with you guys, and maybe I'll have another one once I get confirmation from Yossi Goslin. I'm waiting for his confirmation on that. And then we will, once that happens, then we will do another video. LeBron, Jimmy, Steph, and Dre plus Al would be a highly intellectual mob squad. I know, right? Totally. Let's do a screenshot of that. Yeah, thank you, Palmetto, because I just thought of the title of the next Substack article. The third timeline no one is talking about, which is that. But I want to just I'm 99.9% sure we can go free agent shopping next summer, just like the Lakers did. Yossi Goslin even wrote a detailed article on how the Lakers did the maneuvering, because you have cap holds and whatnot. You have Austin Reeves cap hold. However, Austin Reeves was getting paid so little. And so how do we do that with Steph? I think we're going to have to extend them. By the way, Dean Chambers, I think we're going to have to extend Steph for a cheaper price to do all the maneuvering. I'm not sure though, but yeah, once I get that 0.1% confirmation, then we're good. And I don't even mind actually doing a live to talk about that. And then it turns out that I'm wrong, but because I've talked to Dean about it, he thinks that's the way to go as well. If we get LeBron, hey, what's up, Andre? That will create minutes for Will and Yaxel. I think Yaxel will back up Draymond, and I think we'll be fine. And there's, every year we have 15 to 17 back-to-back games, so Yaxel's playing in those. He better choose the Warriors, or else what? Oh no. What are you going to do, Dylan? Cooper Vitti, what's upper? Only if the source is real. I mean, it's pretty real. But it's not, this source is not LeBron James, so he gets to choose, right? It's not, where's the source going to go play? No. So anyways, just understand that. Bruce has always been anti-LeBron. But let me ask you this. How is it toxic? How was 2024 gold medal run toxic? I don't get it. I still don't get it. Is it toxic with the LeBron stands and the Steph stands? Because IRL NBA is not played on Warriors Twitter. I am for Rui and keep all our pieces. Wow. Wait a minute. Slow down. SD RQ4 UG. You mean Rui is a better player than LeBron? Secondly, I talked about this on last night's live stream, which was the Yaxel. Here, go to live. That was the Yaxel debut, our watch party. I said this last night. I think I would rather have Brandon Williams if it's not LeBron, because then we can save the biannual. We don't have to use that on DeAnthony. And then we can split the non-taxpayer mid-level between Melton and Brandon Williams. I don't know if you heard that last night. Dean, do you like that one? I think that one's pretty clever on my part. So, yeah. Secondly, Secondly, I prefer B. Will over Rui, positionally speaking. Now, if I were to pick 5 players to go to the playground, I would pick Rui before Brandon Williams, but I'm going to pick Brandon Williams because we have a full squad. Popcorn, all those players will be half the season. Yes, correct. There are fireworks because La Toxic is not a warrior. Cavs GM. Yeah. Oh, cool. I hadn't seen that. Where's that? Where did you hear that? Well, actually, I know that. Oh, yeah. Where did you hear that? What's his name? Gilbert went to see Bron. LeBron to the Wolves. We will look at that. Wait a minute. Hold on. But I don't know. Let's do a poll. Bron to Cavs or Heat? Isn't a better doc? You got to play OKC and the Spurs. So your documentary is going to end in the Western Conference Finals, if not semifinals. They're not beating the OKC Spurs or the Spurs. Let's go ahead and end the poll. And let's do a new poll. And it goes, what is more of a fairy tale doc? LeBron to Cavs? LeBron to Heat? LeBron to Wolves? Of course, if you think it's Cavs and Heat together, you got to pick one. And that's it. I don't think there's any other fairy tale ones, right? Am I missing anything? Philadelphia, I guess. LeBron to Sixers. That would be weird. Whatever. So if you're into the documentary stuff, which I think a lot of you are drinking the Kool-Aid on Warriors Twitter, it's not like LeBron has signed a deal to do a documentary. No, it's just speculation. He may be tired of that, but he might not be. I don't know, but it's not guaranteed. When do you foresee LeBron? Well, I don't have any guess. I don't have a guess, but by the way, on YouTube, I can't tag you once it's been like 2 minutes by the time you comment. I don't have a guess, but Rich Paul said yesterday, which is maybe 2 days ago, because they got to film the pod with Kellerman, that it could take a while. Rui should be the next target. I just told you why I think Brandon Williams should be the next target. Oh, thanks, Paul Meadow. Yeah, man. Appreciate it. I'm here to just make Warriors fans feel better about the Warriors. That's what I do. Rich Paul has big influence. Yes. Although, I mean, it's LeBron's decision, and that's what he said on the podcast with Max Kellerman. If you go to our free Discord, which I will give you the link once again for the free Discord. It's slightly broken right now, but if you sign up, it's still free. You'll just accidentally be put on the Valkyries one, and then I will transfer you over to the Warriors one. I need to fix that maybe by Monday, let's say. It's kind of intimidating to try and fix something highly technical. Okay, yeah, so what was the question? Yeah, Rich Paul. Yeah. So he said all these things. There's another article, by the way, here's the Discord, free Discord knowledge base. WAP.com, Let's Go Warriors. And the article for what we're going to talk about, if you wanted to already know the answer, you can, and go subscribe here. The answer to tonight is here. Paywall, though. You know, it's a Substack. And where's my Discord one? Here we go. There's Discord. I'll make it the Facebook one. I like how StreamYard has improved its commenting a little bit. So back to the Discord that explains everything in the Dunleavy section. Show you that. See this Dunleavy section? There's one that talks about and the Anthony Davis thing. I just don't see it happening again because of our cap sheet coming off the books. I wouldn't want Anthony Davis with a gigantic player option right here. So that's why I don't think we will trade for Anthony Davis, despite Shams' insistence. Now, that may just be pressure from Rich Paul on the Wizards and has nothing to do with the Warriors, you know. So this is Mark Medina. He did a good job. I used to be on the Warriors beat with him, or he used to be on the Warriors beat with me, as I stayed on the Warriors beat many years after he left to become to do whatever he's doing in LA. He moved to LA. I don't think it'll be the next few days, says Paul. So Rich Paul. And so maybe middle of next week. And then Minnesota Timberwolves have ramped up their push. And that's kind of the last one that I had. Oh, no, tonight Mark Stein and Jake Fisher said growing belief that the Cavaliers appear to be the scenario to beat. Well, that's his sources. So my sources are different than their sources. I'm pretty sure my source has talked to Shams, but Shams doesn't get a lot of data from him. I know this person personally. So the top 4 UFAs are Curry, Butler, Zach, and Jordan Poole. That's an interesting observation, or interesting note. Didn't even mention Warriors. Yeah, he did. Warriors are on the whiteboard. So I don't know. I got to delete that. That's incorrect info. Wouldn't want someone to read that and go, "Oh, really?" Nah, I'm an OCD journalist. I want to get it right. Every different stop LeBron has gone to, he hasn't always tried orchestrating a major move. Maybe the same holds with us. Oh, I just told you why it doesn't. So are we ever going to get to what I need to say? Okay, there's Bruce's explanation. He's toxic because of his stands. There we go. Yeah. Well, that's his stands. So that's if you spend a lot of time with your thumbs. Lakers are snow time. Trade Moody, Pods, Melton. Who is trading for Moody, Pods, Melton? Why would the Pelicans do that? That's horrible. It's a horrible trade request, man. Especially with Joe Dumars. Chase the Joker. We don't have to wait. FYI, we don't have to wait. Maybe. It's the threat of the cap space and literal cap space. Were the Lakers trying for Jokic? Why should we? Lakers did just fine. Although some of you could argue that the Lakers did not do just fine. They did worse than they could have. Who knows? No, just go get Rui. No. Okay. LeBum, let's not be disrespectful like that. And you need to be put in timeout. LeBron will go to the Warriors. I answer respectful comments. I time out people that look like they hopped onto this live stream straight as a zombie from Twitter. If you're one of those, it's best not to use your thumbs too much, because I will block people. I want the audience to be handpicked and very small. I don't want like the entirety of Twitter. I don't want to build a podcast based on throwing Warriors under the bus, be they players at any given time, named Kuminga, named Pods, named whatever. Like, we're supposed to be rooting for the Warriors. We're let's go Warriors. We're not let's throw Warriors under the bus. Or if you're named Lacob or Dunleavy, like, we have been fortunate that Lacob has decided not to ever trade Steph or Draymond, and it just so happens that our top 5 salaries, including Moses, 4 of them are perennially injured. Shout out to Draymond for not being that injured, but we need Draymond. Exactly. Lonzo. We already tried to get Lonzo, but he ended up injured again. So good thing we didn't get Lonzo. Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh, Brandon Weems. Yeah, they're good friends. Yeah. Rich Paul said on the whiteboard, they're friends with Weems. I don't trust Braun. Okay, sure. So the deal shouldn't be done because you don't trust them for some reason that you can't explain in 200 characters. Okay. That makes no sense. At least explain it better. Those two will give us, well, it just doesn't matter. Why would they do it? Warriors Twitter is toxic. Absolutely. I got to screenshot that one. They so are. At least somebody on YouTube agrees with me. Oh, ESPN Cleveland Twitter. Okay. I don't think LeBron will choose Heat. They only have Davion. I don't think it's stick around because I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts of this. I don't think it's, oh, you have this team or I have that team. Rich Paul is never 100% honest. I don't know if I don't know if I agree with that. He's doing his job. I think he's great at his job. That's all that matters. He gets his clients where they want to be. Okay, there's way too many comments. So Barber's still out there arguing for the trade that Joe Dumars would never do. Any knockdown shooters? Well, Rui. Not a single agent is 100%. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the nature of the business. Is it their fault? Doesn't make him a dishonest person. Let's get that straight, right? It's the job. Is Raymond Ritter the most honest person? No. Can he be mean and cruel? Yes. I've been on the receiving end of Raymond Ritter. Even though he's beloved by everybody, he should be. It's just every now and then you're going to do an NBA thing. Did you guys watch the Mark Spears explanation on Stephon Marbury? He was trying to get Stephon Marbury tickets to a game in China, NBA China game. And there was a hater of Stephon Marbury. It happens. That's why some of you guys are super competitive and just refuse to just be a nice person in the comments. Like, what happened to you? Like, treat this like a coffee shop. Like, hey, what's up, Rich? You know, all of this and that. Can we just stop throwing guys under the bus? We do not need to give everything. No. You won't stop commenting, so I'll just delete. And then you threw Pods under the bus. Pods is a good player, especially at 6 million. Anthony Simons got a better offer in terms of his role. So I can see why someone would want to pick whatever team he picked. What team did he pick? Philly? I think it was Philly. Maybe not. Let's go look it up. Spot track. Anthony Simons. All right, let's all just be nicer. I'm not going to just keep repeating myself within 5 minutes of each other. If you join late, you join late. Then you don't know. You should just rewind. But if you don't want to rewind and you don't want to know, then that's fine. That's on you. But at some point, I get a little fatigued from the constant, we need a trade for AD. And then I got to explain it again. And then again. And then again. It's like zombies. I am legend. Okay, so he's on the 76ers. See? So Sixers are a nice landing spot. God, you're annoying me, bro. Happy 4th, right? Did you ever go over? No, I didn't, because there's a guy who insists that the Pelicans would want an injured Moody and Pods in a trade for Trey Murphy. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, look, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Tomorrow it could happen. And then I'd have to go, I thought, Mike Dunleavy, you were clearing out your cap sheet here and trying to be, for the 10 millionth time, trying to be just like the Lakers last week, the ability to go free agent shopping. That's why we're doing this. So you're going to abandon that all of a sudden, spend your picks and try and aggregate salary up to Trey Murphy, which, again, doesn't make sense for the Pelicans to do. First you criticize Pods, and then you want to trade him. Well, why would the team getting Pods want him based on your brilliant NBA assessment? Sorry, dude. I guess I'm just like, understand when to not keep commenting the same thing. Okay. Who wants to talk about the we got to go through each and every scenario. You see how scrolling and responding to thumb typing can be hazardous to your health. So here's the rules. If you type in a comment that throws somebody under the bus, and or if it throws somebody under the bus and I get to it, then I'm have to time you out. Bruce, please go ahead. You got green light to do that. We don't want to throw Pods under the bus. We don't want to throw Lacob, Dunleavy, all of that. We don't do that at Let's Go Warriors, number one. I feel like I'm a school teacher, just like a bunch of kids thumb typing. So either stop thumb typing or say something high vibrational, like, yo, I think he's coming here. So we looked at different teams, and Philadelphia was the first one we looked at. He can only go on a veteran's minimum. So thank you for mentioning that. So do you think LeBron would take a veteran's minimum? I think he would not, but I don't know. Rich Paul keeps claiming that it's not about the money. So, okay. But I also believe it's about a certain level of respect. So our offer of 15 million to me is just much more respectable than the other ones. Like, yeah, that's still not about the money, but it's also about, I mean, it's a nice to have. And it's a lot more than the other ones. And it might allow him to stay, one more year in the league at a veterans minimum. Because once you go veterans minimum, you're not coming back, right? So if he goes with us, then, and he still feels like playing next year for whatever team, because I don't think we're going to give him a guaranteed contract for more than a year. Again, due to the strategy of dropping off everybody next summer, then yeah. So I don't really think the veterans minimum is that great for him. So it would have to be, all of these are like, Cleveland can't do anything but the taxpayer mid-level. So that's a little bit better. But again, I think that is scratching the competitive itch. And when you're at the end of your career, because I used to be at the end of my amateur basketball career, and I knew that I had to retire because both of my Achilles heels, they would get really sore after any time I played. So I just had to quit cold turkey. And so I basically knew that I was done pretty soon. And at that point in time, you just want to go and have fun. Now that's just me. So that's my personality. But when you get older, you start seeing the forest for the trees. And I've said this before, you start just trying to look for the joy in it. And when it gets competitive, there's always somebody like, I often make the metaphor of people in the comments. They draw their sword and they want to fight. They want to fight you, just like Barber did. He wants to fight me on the whole Trey Murphy trade thing. Like, put your sword down. Like, I'm not here to really talk about that. Do you not even notice the title of the YouTube stream that we're doing? It does not discuss Trey Murphy. And I gave you the one fell swoop answer to that and I just there's probably 10 of you rolling your eyes for me having to repeat that the strategy appears to be to clear out the cap sheet next summer so we can go on a shopping spree for free agents, just like the Lakers did. Wouldn't you want that? So that's why I think, just getting back to the metaphor thing, when you reach the point in your career where you've kind of done everything, you've won championships, you've lost championships, you've built a legacy, you've whatever, everything, you've changed teams a couple times. There's a lot of pressure to go win in Cleveland. And I just don't know that he wants to unsheath the sword again and fight all the naysayers again and have the media interview him like crazy. When they lose a game, they should have won. So that is the case with Cleveland. That's the case with Miami. And with Miami, they can use 8.5 million of their non-taxpayer mid-level. And that's still not quite as much as the Warriors. However, it is, I would say, respectable, better than a veterans minimum. And I could not figure out how Minnesota would get actually, no, I did figure it out. I had to trade out Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Green to give LeBron or Rui, a free agent, 15 million. So it's doable, but they have to make some more moves, just like we would have to make a move to trade Moses. So who knows? They have fewer draft picks to do that, but they might be okay on the second round picks, which you would need to do salary dumping. So let's check their second round picks. Well, they only got one. So I don't really think they can really dump that salary. Hate to say it. And Minnesota, again, Minnesota would be a competitive atmosphere, although probably not as pressure packed as Cleveland or Miami, because the assumption from the reporters, at least, and fans on Twitter or what have you, which, I'm sure LeBron isn't like on Twitter all the time, but he has friends and family that are, so they always relay that to them. So the life of an NBA player is filled with people that are close to you saying, oh, this guy said this guy said that. That can be somewhat a tempered, a less volatile, but still volatile atmosphere when you're dealing with hearsay. So yeah, it's just the competitive itch or not. That's what all of these teams are dealing with. Whereas with the Warriors, I just feel like there's much, much less stress. Denver cannot do, let's see, they would have to waive Valanciunas, which I think they have, and they need to trade out Aaron Gordon or one of the big ones, which they appear not to be doing. They're running it back, it looks like, other than Jonas. And that would open up the taxpayer mid-level, but they might be over the second apron. So it's a close call, but my calculations, and if we're being generous with the cap sheet analysis, then they can afford the taxpayer mid-level. I just don't think not New York. I just don't think Denver is that attractive. And what he's gonna replace Cam Johnson as a starter, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so I mean, if you're going to Denver, then why not go to Minnesota, right? That's kind of like if you do process of elimination, if you were to ask Lieutenant Commander Data to eliminate certain choices, you would eliminate Denver because of the existence of Minnesota. Minnesota is way more of a sexy destination with Ant Edwards and whatnot, right? And then we talked about OKC, that didn't make sense, and we talked about New York, that didn't make sense. And New York is kind of like those two spots would be kind of like that's really ring chasing. And yeah, the Spurs would have to have LeBron come off the bench. So would New York. And OKC, I guess he could start for Lou Dort if they got rid of Lou Dort. So that's my pitch to you as to the reasons why you would go to the Warriors in terms of just, you don't have all this competitive pressure. You can put that on the side. Now, again, I don't think us getting to the number 3 seed is all that crazy. It definitely depends on health, but also other teams could get injured too. So you never know. But I like our chances against Jokic and all them boys on Denver. And we went one by one. Minnesota is now a different team. We match up way better against Minnesota. And maybe Utah will take a step upward. Obviously, they've got really nice draft pick and Darren Peterson and so on and so forth, and a humongous front line. But yeah, I mean, I still like our chances against a team that hasn't found its own identity. So back to the agenda. The other convo that I had, so we just did number 1. The other convo that I had was with my buddy Mark. He's a Lakers fan. And I said, Mark, where do you think he'll go? And he goes, you know what? Probably Cleveland, because it's like a second home, or it actually was his first home now that LA is home. He's got a whole family that grew up in LA. All of his kids did. And he's like, yeah, I probably guess Cleveland. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. But then next morning, which would be yesterday morning, I woke up and I'm like, wait a minute. you know, it's the old man basketball veterans theory, which I have experience being, and what I just told you, which is kind of mixed in with all the talk about the cap sheets, which is these are very competitive environments. There's going to be a lot of pressure to win, and I think on your last year of your career, I don't I don't know that he needs that. So now we're going to talk about what I talked with the NBA insider, but we're going to go, yep, complaining. Okay. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Exactly. Any other burning questions? Better just comment them right now as I try and catch up to some of this stuff. I would almost get Buddy. No, I don't think so. No, he cannot guard. Yaxel, we could agree on Yaxel, couldn't we? The Warriors are doing the same thing. They need to thank you. They need to trade the picks. Go what? I think that the Warriors are doing that's not the same thing as the Lakers. That's not the same thing. Oh man. I don't like the word need either. Are you guys just not there yet in terms of, you know, maybe there's a lot of young people in the chat, like people, you got to learn how to get rid of needy people in your life. I'm totally not, you know, I'm totally serious about that. Traded for AD, what is my reaction is I'd be shocked. Do two. Bruce is like, stop answering these. Due to summer 2027 cap sheet. Am I not getting through to you on that one? Agents have to lie. Exactly. LeBron likes the attention. Yeah, he's going to get attention here too. Happy 4th to you. I wouldn't trade for Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy won't be traded. How come you want the chat to be nice, but you just openly make it make sense? Nah, I'll just put you in timeout as well. Put down your swords, guys. You want to make me out to be a bad guy, then leave it. Let's get the I want the concurrence to go under 100. I will read your comment though, so be honored. I'm giving you the attention you want, and you guys think LeBron wants attention. No, you want it. Look, I got insider NBA information, so I can do whatever I want. I'm the one with the information. You don't. Will Richard is on the roster. Yeah, it's on here. Let me show you. Boom, Will Richard right there. Barbara, you complain so much. You would say no to pods. I already did that one. Literally already showed the cap sheet where pods can't be traded numerically. Ah, Barber, this will be the last time you'll join our live stream, right? We have 50 too many people. I wanted to go under 100. We have too many haters on here. I love it. You guys want to pull your sword take down. Here's what happened, guys, in case you didn't understand. Pay attention. You drew your sword. I tried to reason with you. You wouldn't put the sword away. Or you drew your sword. I drew my sword and you wouldn't put it away. Like, is it possible to do this without being competitive? Okay. So, can't access the article. Yeah, it's there, but it's under a paywall. Rita's contract. Yeah, thank you. There's a good question, finally. Yes. And I wonder if he should do this in August. Just cap hold wise, it's a question I have reserved for cap experts, Yossi Goslin. Oh, thanks, brother. Okay, so here is the information. So how do I say this without giving away, like, you know, with the respecting the guy? Well, it's just really, it's in the article, and it's, so I'm calling my guy because they all used to play in my league, my dream league. So here's what it used to look like. Dream League, Instagram.com/Dream League. So in my basketball league, it's far reaching. So you just get to know people. And every now and then, you know, as I've said before, I met Josh Urbistando, who became a national hero in the Philippines, you know, became known as Fireball, kind of shooting threes like crazy in games. So people just come and play in my league. Now, I don't run the league anymore because after COVID, I just decided it was time to, it just got dwindled and dwindled because of, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of like young adults, they don't play basketball anymore because they've been put through the grinder up through AAU. And if they don't make it to the next level, then they quit, they're done. So that's kind of the dark side of basketball these days, sadly, unless you're Filipino. So if you love the game of basketball and you're a young adult and you tried AAU, it didn't work out, and you just want to play for fun, there is an escape valve for you, and that's to find the Filipino league in your city. Thank you, Phil Ams. You're saving the game. You really are. Now, of course, there's city leagues here and there, but the Filipino leagues, that's where you get really tight-knit communities, and you get guys playing the league more and more. They start switching teams. They make friends on other teams and stuff. That just doesn't happen mostly in like city leagues where there's, you know, white guys, a whole bunch of white guys. Nothing against white guys. I'm just saying it's the culture. The culture. Like, you just kind of stay on your team because the regular city league is all about building that ringer team. You build the ringer team. You build the ringer team. You get a guy from nowhere. In the Filipino leagues, it's harder to build a ringer team. Somebody should save this recording because, like, this is like special stuff. Like, no one's ever talked about this. There should be a documentary on Filipino leagues in America. So my point is, these guys go on. So this one guy went on to be very involved and connected in the NBA right now. And he knows Rich Paul. He actually knows him through Draymond, but he knows how they think, how they operate. And what he told me last night, we were just talking about other stuff. And he goes, and I can't mention his name, obviously. And he goes, "Hey, you want some breaking news?" I'm like, what? Stop it, right? He never gives me breaking news. And I'm going, you're kidding, right? Of course I want breaking news, but what do you mean by that? And this time he was sort of for real this time. He goes, "Here it is, guys, 50-minute mark." He goes, "LeBron, he just wants to play with Steph. That's all he wants to do." I'm like, damn, really? So it really is. At first he was like, oh, where do you think he'll go? And I'm like, well, my brain's telling me the Cleveland, but my heart is telling me the Warriors, and my basketball heart, in terms of like, I used to be that old guy. I wasn't as good as LeBron, but I used to be that old guy. I knew I was done playing basketball and I just wanted to play for fun. And for us amateur guys, it doesn't just stop off like this super elite athlete like LeBron 1 year. Like for us, it's like you reach that point where it's like, I got my championships in rec league and whatnot. I just want to play for fun now for the next however I can keep going. And so my friend, he's like, yeah, I know this. He really, really wants to play with Steph. And that's why, Rich, I think he's coming to the Warriors. So it's not me saying this, even though my heart is in alignment with him. It's him knowing the Clutch family better than the average person and knowing just like what LeBron is like more so than the average person. So now we get to the disclaimer part. The disclaimer part is we could be wrong about this. Certainly my guess that these destinations are too pressure packed for him at age 42. That might be the wrong assessment. LeBron is not me. I know what I would pick if I were on my last year or two. But then now you have my guy who, he has these guys in his cell phone. Kudos to him. Like he's really gone a far distance since, I first met him. And he wants to play in my basketball league, which is nuts if you think about it. So that is it. That's all I have to say. We're near an hour. And look, you can disagree all you want. I would just ask you, if you're in denial of what I just told you, why would you be in denial of it? It's something else. I'm just giving you what I was told. And so why not? If you are a Warriors fan, you should take this and you should be happy with it. This should give you some hope. It's not like LeBron signed on the dotted line secretly, or that he's even made a decision. I don't even think he's made a decision. In fact, if you look back 10 years ago, where were you when KD signed? I was on a boat. I happened to be on vacation with my parents. Thank you, parents, for bringing me. I didn't pay for it. We were at Loch Ness and we were on a boat to get off the cruise ship to go to Loch Ness. I had an old iPhone that was on T-Mobile with, 1 megabit per second, whatever. Like you could only check email and check Twitter. So I was checking Twitter and it came through and I'm like, oh yeah, right. And then I go back to the boat later on and I, type it in on the internet. We paid like $100 or maybe it was 150, 200 for internet access. And there I am doing it on Let's Go Warriors. So if you go back to Let's Go Warriors on Twitter, when I used to tweet, I don't tweet anymore really, you will see KD 10 years ago and me very happy about it. Well, I believe that KD didn't know where he was going until he woke up that day and said, you know what, I got to make a decision. So I'm picking the Warriors. And I think LeBron will do the same thing. Whenever he feels ready, he'll do it. He'll say, yeah, I got it. Either I'm scratching the competitive itch and I'm going to, I think, Cleveland, because between Cleveland and Minnesota, I think I would pick Cleveland, right? Because it's the same. I mean, first of all, you just need to get them to the finals and it's easier through the East. But I know Minnesota, as said in the Discord here, I know that Minnesota is pitching him on what a fairy tale that would be. but it's just super hard to do it in a new environment like that. So that I understand that if he was, deciding, if this is 2010 and he was taking his talents to South Beach, but he's an older man now. In fact, that's 16 years ago. So I think it's a different environment. But yeah, if you're a Warriors fan and you needed a reason to believe that LeBron would come here, I just gave it to you. That's why I do what I do. I'm here to make Warriors fans feel better about the Warriors. And I don't do that through just blind praise. I do that through reasoned thinking. It's about your mind. It's about how you think. And I have not read a lot of your comments, but don't be like Barber. Actually, Barber's not that bad. But don't just be, thumb typing and being addicted. You got to first realize how addicting it is to read something negative and then keep spreading it with your own thing. And I implore you guys to stop doing that because it will ruin your Warriors experience. It really will, because we should be really appreciative of having Steph Curry and the fact that Joe Lacob never traded him, because Warriors Twitter will have you believe that Joe Lacob was supposed to win more championships than he did by somehow doing some magic, when a lot of these salaries right here are tied up right now in terms of being injured for the most part. Like Steph only played 43 games. He is not worth 62 million due to the 43 games played. He is based on other things, non-basketball things like selling jerseys, aura, so on and so forth, culture and locker room presence, what have you, strategy even for Steve Kerr. But, when he's not in the lineup, it's a hindrance to our strategy, right? So you could definitely argue that he's not worth 62 million. Same thing with Jimmy Butler. Obviously, he's injured. Same thing with Kristaps, and that salary has come down by nearly half. Same thing with Draymond in terms of he was turning the ball over extra and all of that. So now he's kind of finally come down from 27 million and went ahead and did the opt-out. Probably knew that LeBron was thinking about coming here. And so, like Moses, he's at 12.5, right? And he's injured. So you can't trade any of these. Now, you could trade Kristaps, but I already explained that one. Yossi Goslin told me they're not trading Kristaps. It would be like stabbing him in the back by having him sign this extension and then turn right around and trade him. Now, tomorrow, he could be traded as part of this instead of Moody. Okay, I get it, but that's not what Yossi Goslin told me. And Yossi Goslin has way more experience in the NBA with these contract things and way more contacts in the NBA. He says he's not being traded. I believe him. Current CBA expiring. Good question. I think 2029. And did you see the Kyle Kuzma tweet? I thought that was, yes and no, right? When does the current NBA CBA expire? All right, we'll go to comments. All right, did you put away your sword, please? Okay, good. You're the positive. Good. All right. So it's just a misunderstanding. Just be bygones, be bygones. Let's not do the Jordan Poole, Draymond thing. We're good. We're good. Conclusion of 2030. Good question. Thank you for asking that. Where were you? That's a good one. Okay, let's just try and get through all these comments. Let me go chronological order. I think. SGA signed an extension. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was. You can go to Hoops Hype, go to OKC, and then you'll see the out years right here. Shea right here, 63 million, 68.73. Thank you, Paul Metal. Not worried about the starting lineup. Don't know what that was. Just trying to get through all of these. People talk about trading for AD. I know. Oh, thanks, Honda. Appreciate you. It's hard to not get in fights in the chat, isn't it? I mean, it's really hard. It's hard because there's disagreements, and then it becomes, more than it should be. Donovan, hope you can take the info you just heard and keep going. Obtrusive thoughts. Oh no, really? Are those obtrusive? I don't think so. Thank you as well, man. Yeah, that, and he's even talking about really all the salary cap stuff. I think appreciate you. One of these days, I'm gonna do something with all these screenshots. Maybe during the summer in August. There's no news about the Warriors at all, and I just feel like, oh, today would be a good day to finally post all your awesome thanks. Redo contract. CBA won't allow a contract to be renegotiated after signed, as far as I know. Yeah, I meant trading Kristaps, but I don't know what you're talking about, actually. You're in your backyard. Cool. Yeah, I know. I got fireworks out there too. Yep. Don't worry about it. I've been to Philippines. Ah, yeah, man. I know, right? Hope you heard the news. Let's see. It was at the 50-minute mark. Imagine if we won the NBA Finals. I know, that would be crazy. Why not? I mean, Warriors Twitter is having you imagine every possible worst-case scenario. Why don't you be the contrarian to that and imagine us winning the finals? Why not? It's just as valid as thinking bad stuff. What's the hurdle? Oh, thinking it over. It's a tough decision. Probably a lot of competitive vibes. Speaking of which, see, sometimes I do appreciate you guys just saying something, as long as it's not throwing somebody under the bus. If I were the Warriors, I would come back one more time and make that last pitch and go, look, guys, I mean, guys meaning Rich Paul and LeBron. Hey, look, you two, Denver Nuggets, man. Look at our roster right here. Where's LeBron? Moses is gone on this one. It's a veterans minimum. Okay. You go, look at our roster. We'll get Jimmy back. We got Yaxel. He looks great. Brandon is a good ball handler. And we got DeAnthony Melton. Don't you think, LeBron, that us against Denver, we got a chance to beat them? 7-game series. Now, getting through the regular season, yeah, that's tough. I know. But speaking of, just you got to look at all these rosters as if they're healthy. If you're looking at the Nuggets fully healthy, then you got to look at the Warriors fully healthy. It's kind of, one game or one 7-game series. Los Angeles Lakers. Let's go through each of these rosters here. For sure LeBron's going, yeah, we're beating the Lakers. So that is where the competitive gene will come out for sure. Next up, what? Houston? Let's look at Houston. We know Houston's iffy. Of course, they do get Fred VanVleet back, so they should be a better team, but they're running it back. But they lost to the Lakers in the playoffs, and the Lakers were as outmanned as you could imagine, just like we were. Next one on the list is Minnesota. Now, again, we are no longer a bad matchup against Minnesota. First of all, they got a wild card. They got LaMelo Ball. We don't know if he's going to turn the ball over late in the playoff game or what have you, take a bad three from 35 feet. So they've gotten rid of two of their inside guys, or defensively inside. Naz Reid can play defense. So can Julius Randle. Those two guys are gone. And I just think we match up a little bit better. Now, I love Ayo Dosunmu. He's an ankle breaker. I don't know if we can stay in front of him, so on and so forth. Maybe Melton can check him. But, Minnesota is just not our kryptonite anymore, is what I'm trying to say. Portland, now they did a weird thing. They went and made their backcourt super small. So now all of a sudden they've got Ja Morant and Damian Lillard in the backcourt. And so Dame's going to guard Steph. Ja's going to guard Podziemski. Like, what about the rest of the crew? Tumani and Denny will check LeBron and Draymond / Yaxel. And then they've got Klingon at the 5 against Al Horford. Our stretch 5 lineup can still, we can take these guys down. Come on. And they screwed up Shadon Sharp. Sharp doesn't even play as much. So I like our chances against Portland. And, obviously LA is kind of like rebuilding, and Phoenix is, who do they even have? Well, nobody expects Phoenix to like really improve drastically, and they were certainly beatable. Who here doesn't think we roll the ball out one more time against Phoenix in another play-in game? We're going to play better, right? We can beat these guys. Now, Miles Bridges is their pickup, but I'm not fearful of him at all. And like, I think we can do a good job against these guys. And Mark Williams is their center, yeah, I'm okay with that matchup. And then you got Utah. Now, Utah looks nice, but they are inexperienced. So Darren Peterson, you saw some highlights from yesterday. He looks good. Step back. I just wonder, like, are they going to just defer to him? Like, Jaren Jackson going to be comfortable throwing the ball to Darren and not getting it back? We'll see. I don't know. It's just one highlight reel I'm going off of. Yeah, so look at that. Number 2 pick, it's $13 million. And then we know Yusuf Nurkic is a weak point. They had to get rid of Kessler. Couldn't resist getting rid of that one. That's such a good deal for Utah. You had to do the deal. And yeah, I mean, they got Okogie, who's good on defense against Steph. But I don't know. This doesn't wow me. I mean, Ace Bailey's pretty good, but he's not like, I'd be more worried if that was like AJ DeBonsa, right? I don't know. I think we can do pretty well against all of these other teams down here below too. And that's what I would pitch to LeBron. I'd have one last pitch meeting, be the last one if you could. Be Steph there, make sure Steph's there, and maybe the whole family. I don't know. Have it at Steph's house in Atherton over here, and just go through each one of these and go, yeah, we can take this team down, we can take them down. Here's how we would do it. That would be my pitch. Hey, I'm glad you guys thought that was huge. Why are they dragging it out? Yeah, I said that already. I don't think they're dragging it out. It's just giving time to, this is an important decision. It's a tough one. Trumpian scam artist. Okay. Yeah, never heard of that one, but yeah, that's funny. That's huge. Oh man, my dream was fulfilled. Well, yeah. And then right now he could be committing to Cleveland. Who knows? Matter of fact, let's go to the Discord real quick. I know I'm super behind on comments, but I spilled the beans. I like Bay live feed. These are the $5 a month ones. Jaden Bradley. Oh, let's just catch up way down here. Yeah, not much. Kuminga. He might go to the Lakers, but it's going to be non-taxpayer mid-level, I believe. That's the best you can do right now. I mean, if LeBron is only going to get the non-taxpayer mid-level, there's no shame in getting the non-taxpayer mid-level on Kuminga's part. Although Warriors Twitter would have you believe differently. They want to throw him under the bus because they have nothing else to do. Oh, nice, brother. Glad I could help you out. Well, it's giving you hope. It's not a done deal, but I mean, it's a little bit of added data, and I think that's cool. Okay, LeBron, come, we could win. Worth sending all the draft away. No, I still want to go free agent shopping just in case it doesn't, because look, I don't think we're just automatically going to beat OKC or the Spurs in a 7-game series. Maybe take them to 6 games and then you never know. But let's be realistic. You know, I get it. It's very ironically, I will say this. The guy I was talking to, he was thinking the other way. He was thinking go all in, but I don't think we should go all in. So there's some people that want to go get AD. There's so many variables here. Like Kristaps isn't fully healthy, Jimmy's not fully healthy, and I really do want to, you could just kind of really protect Steph this season. You're gonna have to do that for the next 2 or 3 seasons, anyways. And let's just see what happens. And at the trade deadline, maybe you can do it. But if you can get LeBron without having to get AD, or without having to get Trey Murphy, or without having to spend extra picks on whoever you really want because it's a sexy name, again, if you guys could just see from my point of view how valuable it is to just drop off all these salaries and be able to rebuild that team for Steph. Again, like, would you rather be stuck with that or really be able to build the team around Steph as the Lakers did for Luka? And that's just one summer away, and I think Steph can handle it. If I thought Steph was brittle, then I probably wouldn't do it. But yeah, I think he's got a couple more years, if not, more, 2, 3 maybe. And yeah, I know it's a tough call. It's 50-50. If you needed to, if that was part of the deal, like LeBron said, no, I'm just not coming unless AD comes, and I want you to mortgage that future for that, which would sound kind of selfish. I don't think he's like that. And by the way, I don't think the Wizards want to trade AD, so that kind of undermines that whole idea. Okay, let me since 2022, I was trying to look for that. I was trying to research that, but where do you have this info of LeBron since 2022? I'm not sure that that's correct, honestly. Let's just try and go through the comments a little bit faster. Yeah, I thought the Wizards kind of want to keep AD. Not that they denied the Warriors specifically, but they just want to keep AD. And I understand that too. I mean, you just went through the trouble of getting him. Why not? And also, I just don't think they think the Warriors would send out 3 picks for him and just go all in. Yeah, I don't know. The way I look at it is I'm not that disappointed if LeBron doesn't come, because then we can turn around and go get Brandon Williams or Rui if you wanted too many power forwards on the team. Although Rui can shoot, but so can Yaxel. I'm not disappointed with this team either without LeBron. That's why I don't want to do the extra for LeBron. Whereas my buddy, actually, he wants to do the extra for LeBron. And I hope he's listening, because I didn't think of saying that last night when I talked to him, So you think about this a million times, and, you get a little inspiration from whatever random thing you're saying in the comments. As long as it doesn't put me in a low vibrational mood. If it's something that you're just sort of saying that's kind of regular vibration like this, then I'm able to keep thinking rather than getting into that diatribe of don't go on the Warriors Twitter, it makes you a worse person. And going on that tangent over and over again. So the more you made me think, the more I'm sitting here going, look, even though I just told you that we have hope for LeBron coming here, weirdly, I'm also saying, don't put all your emotional marbles in that, because I still like the team without him. I'm with Dean Chambers. Dean Chambers always likes the team as is. He's more high vibrational about the Warriors than I am many times. Like right when Jimmy got injured, I tried to come up with all these ideas. I thought, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, this gigantic deal or whatever, and that would help the Kings tank if they had Jimmy Butler, not playing for them and all that. And Dean was like, no, just, you're trying to come up with too many, solutions in a situation that there is no solution. And we ended up getting Porzingis, which wasn't that bad. And shout out to Shivansh, had looked at the cap sheets and figured out that Kristaps and Jonathan were making similar money. So he had actually predicted that it was just kidding at the time, because we knew that KP was super injured. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, that's my added little flavor to this, even though I'm giving you more reasons to, and that's why on Let's Go Warriors, nothing is ever black and white, right? Whereas everything's black and white on those other apps where there's tons and tons of people on there trying to make you feel worse about the Warriors and coming up with podcasts that have so many people attracted to it because they get to kick people when they're down or throw people under the bus. Like, even though I wanted to be the opposite of that, I am at the same time saying that if it's not LeBron, I'm cool with it. I really am. And wouldn't it be neat if it was Brandon Williams? Because I do think we need like a scoring guard, because Brandon Pajemski falls short in that scoring thing. Now, okay, maybe he's behind closed doors right now. He's coming up with all these floaters and he's actually making them. And in a game, he'll make that. But I need to see that to believe it. And one game scoring 30 points, okay, that's nice. I didn't want you to score 30 points anyways. That was Warriors Twitter and Instagram Warriors telling you to do that. I wanted you to get assists, just like Yaxel said on the podium. Why can't you be more like Yaxel, Pods? Go up there and say you're going to get assists. That's what you need to do. In any case, you're not a natural scorer. It's not natural for you. Brandon Williams, scoring is natural. DeAnthony Melton, scoring is natural. Although I would say DeAnthony, more of a secondary scorer, whereas Brandon Williams, you go look at his BK ref, it's pretty clear he likes to score. In fact, let's look at his assists. Oh, look at that one, 12 assists in that one. I like what I see in this. And maybe some of you might be going, what's taking Brandon Williams so long to decide? Maybe it's because of this. He's waiting on LeBron and he doesn't have any bigger offers out there. Let's check it. Let's go to Dallas Mavericks. Is he a restricted free agent? Wow. Yeah, so he was signed with the rookie scale. Let's go to last season. Where is he? He must have been converted. Oh, no, Dallas. Yeah, Dallas. Let's go to Spot Track. Get back there. Spottrack.com, Brandon Williams. I had to do this due diligence at some point anyways. Maybe he's waiting around to see if LeBron does not sign with us, at which point unrestricted. Yeah. So Dallas, how much can they afford? Did we look at Dallas yet? Capsheets.com. Now that we're going down another rabbit hole, but it's an important rabbit hole. Yeah, they can afford to pay him if they really wanted to. Let's see. But he's gonna, don't they want Ryan Nembhard to be their guy, or did they play at the same time? He didn't start any of those games. I wonder if Ryan Nembhard started. Let's see. When did he score 23? Yep, Ryan Nembhard's the point. He came off. But they were trying to tank too. I don't know how much Dallas can pay him. Probably they can pay him a lot, considering they only have 175 in salaries. Yeah. But maybe he hasn't signed with Dallas because he wants a bigger role, and maybe the draw to play with the Warriors is to be behind Steph. However, we signed Melton already, so there's that problem too. I don't know. At least I looked at it. Weather and distance from LA. Yeah. But then that, playing the devil's advocate, if you were to have that competitive itch, like, oh yeah, Cleveland, I could take Cleveland back to the finals, or Miami, or again, to me, Minnesota's a tough sell. You're not only going to make Minnesota better, but then you've got to beat the Spurs and OKC. I don't believe the Minnesota one. I just don't think he would go there. And by the way, Minnesota, the flight from here to Minnesota is not that good. I've been on plenty of them. Even though I love Minneapolis, it's a great place to watch a Warriors game. Target Center, even in the wintertime, everything's connected through the mall. So you never have to go outside. And I didn't figure that out until the second time I went to Minnesota, which shucks, man. I had to walk through the snow that first time and I didn't know. But Minnesota is not that close here. And in some ways, I would rather just go to Cleveland than Minnesota in terms of like, you know, it's so close. And yeah, Cleveland isn't that bad. They're kind of the same, other than the, yeah, they're kind of the same to me. Now, Miami's a great destination, no doubt. You got the sun and everything, but yeah, that's a lot of pressure. You got to really scratch that competitive itch. Okay. Yeah, it would be interesting to see how Jimmy reintegrates with the new team, assuming we have kind of a new team. We will. I mean, Yaxel makes us kind of different. Yeah, we would have three-peated for sure. Okay. It's his loss. Ah. Good for you. Addicted. That game 6. Yeah. How far am I on the comments? I'm catching up. Pick up DeRozan. Here's the thing. I looked at that already. They would have to waive him first. Let's go to hoopshype.com and go DeMar DeRozan to look at the latest rumors. DeMar DeRozan rumors. So this is how you should look up information. Let's see. Is hoping to accelerate his exit either by being waived and testing the open market or being traded. Right. So we can't trade for him. So they would need to waive him first. We can't trade for him because I don't know how we're going to match that salary. because I guess you'd have to trade Kristaps, and I like I said, we're not trading Kristaps, I was told. So I think just wait around to see if DeMar gets waived. If he gets waived, then that's an option. If not, I'd still rather have LeBron, because if he gets waived, he's a free agent. So I'd still rather have LeBron than DeMar. That's why I've crossed DeMar off the list. It's the same thing as crossing Denver off the list of destinations, because why would you pick Denver if you know that between Minnesota and Denver, you'd pick Minnesota? So that causes Denver to fall off the list. And for me, with DeMar, why would I pick DeMar if I would pick LeBron over DeMar? So I'm not thinking about DeMar right now. Now, if LeBron finally says no, or he goes someplace else, then we can reopen that. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, I think, on some of that. I don't know about three-peating or four-peating, but I think we can compete. Yeah, Kuzma tweet. Yeah. I want to look at that one more time. I put it in the NBA, but not Warriors right here. Also put it in the salary cap one, but he says, oh, what he basically said was that the NBA hires a bunch of lawyers, so we need to hire a bunch of lawyers too. And he's absolutely correct. Fear-based apron decisions. It's not fear-based apron decisions. The problem is that the rules of the aprons force you to only have a non-taxpayer mid-level at 15 million. And the apron is somewhat low. So that's the problem. It's the rule that comes out of the other rule. And it's not based on fear, but it was originally based on fear by the NBA and the Board of Governors setting the numbers like that. So I think what Kuzma is saying here is that in 2030, we may get a strike, either a strike or a lockout, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, next CBA is do or die. But I do think that if they figured out that this is how much money should go out to the players, then maybe they need to rethink that formula. Put it this way, it just doesn't seem right that LeBron's salary would go down to 15 million all of a sudden. And I think that's also necessitated by all of these awesome draft picks being so cheap. So I don't know what the solution is to that. And that's way above my pay grade. Like, you need to be a mathematician at the same time as being a lawyer and an economist, financial guru. Like, I don't know what to do about that, but I think Kuzma is pretty much 80 to 85% correct on this. Yeah, I think it is Warriors or Cavs. Jimmy comes back half a season. Yeah, I hope so. JoJo White. I don't know. We'll see. Did you miss something? You know what? You can email me if you missed anything. And, let's let bygones be bygones. Anybody else miss anything and just wanted to ask a quick question? That's fine. When are we going to? Yikes. Well, look, when are we going to get more players? Like, it's hard. I told you. Warriors Twitter will make you think that it's not hard, and that if you say that it's hard, that you're some loser. what are you going to do? I mean, really, you should be trading Steph because he only played 43 games, but we know that that's impossible, and we wouldn't want that. Joe Lacob doesn't want that. So Steph is the heart and soul of the Warriors. So you can't trade that, and yet you have to pay that. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is Jimmy's hurt. Problem number three is Porzingis is usually hurt. Problem number four is that Moses is hurt. And problem number five is that Draymond got older and he commits more turnovers now. You don't see him on here because he opted out. But we're going to have to pay Draymond. And my estimate is, yikes, he's going to take a pay cut to match that of LeBron to make this all fit. Yikes. I mean, we could pay him up to, I think, 18 million per my estimates, but that's the most. Draymond is not going to get more than that if LeBron comes here. Now, if LeBron doesn't come here, then yeah, he can make, I think, 20-ish million based on my spreadsheet that I did before. So that's why you got to be patient. We have an old team, and Jimmy's salary slot came from Wiggins, which came from KD, which was a part of a team that had 4 Hall of Famers on it. One of the salary slots way back was Klay Thompson, which carried into 2020, 2021, and 2022. And then and 23. Then he got an offer he couldn't refuse. Go play with the team that just went to the finals. So he says, bye-bye, I'm not coming off the bench. I'm going to go be the starting wing shooter. All I got to do is stand in the corner with Luka and Kyrie. That seems like a pretty good place for me. Plus it's a pay cut because we offered him $24 million the year before that. So you lose a salary slot. So we had to trade for like Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield to get under the tax to then get DeAnthony Melton, which then turned into Dennis Schroeder, which then added up with Andrew Wiggins, turned back into Jimmy Butler. So that whole thing came around. But we essentially lost the Klay Thompson spot. Now, the big one that didn't work out was Kuminga, but that's turned into Porzingis. So we haven't completely lost that, but it's lost value. But it's also lost value for the Hawks. They completely let him go. So if you think it was bad for us to lose that slot, it was also bad for Atlanta. And that's not necessarily, the Warriors' fault. So it really is hard. The reason why it's so easy to tear down the people that say that it's hard is because Warriors Twitter, you can say anything and you can make up shit and you can make up all these weird things about we should have traded for this or that, or we didn't use picks or that. It's like, but we did. We got Jimmy. And with this one, you can't trade Steph. And you can't really, and the Jordan Poole one, we actually grew Jordan Poole from the draft to a massive contract. Turns out it was an overpay anyways, but Tyler Hero set the market price on that. We had no choice but to pay Poole that much. And then there was the punch. The video got out. It was really the video rather than the punch. If the punch had happened and there was no video, they would have resolved it. Jordan Poole would have never been embarrassed. And then there wouldn't have been like him hanging his head when Draymond wanted to talk to him as they're walking to the bench, that kind of thing. Then you got to choose between Draymond and Jordan Poole. And then you go and trade for Chris Paul. That was a big gamble that didn't work. But, a lot of things. And you got to understand how the salaries evolve to understand how you can make trades. And that's the part that Warriors Twitter misses out on. You can't even explain that thumb typing. So Twitter is not an environment for you to learn that stuff. And that's too bad on them. I mean, that's how it is on Twitter. You got to realize that. That's why I stay off of Twitter and just go to our Discord, because it has all the same information and knowledge base and database of all the breaking news from all the right people. And it doesn't get tainted by people's quote tweets and these replies and complaining and complaining and complaining. You got to get people who complain out of your life. You really do. First, you got to do that. Then you got to look in the mirror and go, what am I complaining about? What do I want to do with my life? One of the things I figured out was I had to stop getting into fights with my dad. And you got to clear your mind first to do that. I do it through meditation. You might do it through prayer. You might have another way of doing it. And I realized that my dad is the way he is because of X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F. And I was like, those are actually good things. He's doing that to protect you. He actually loves you and is trying to protect you, not get into a fight with you. But we always ended up getting into fights because we think differently, and I have what he has. I want to survive too. So you draw your sword, I'm going to draw my sword. But I'm trying to learn how to not draw my sword if you draw your sword, which I didn't do a good job of earlier, right? So, but the first step is awareness. If you're not even aware what's happening, then you're just going to do it over and over again. So that's what I want to do. I want to just keep trying to teach you guys that if you go on Warriors Twitter, there's a cost. It's a huge cost to you. And then you're giving your energy away to negative things. Give your energy away to good things, positive things, optimistic things, love. It's the same vibration as love. And we love the Warriors, don't we? So does Steph. How do you think Steph does it? It's probably through prayer, knowing that he's a devout Christian. So kudos to that, whatever that belief is, whatever that experience is. And he's probably had an experience, not just the belief, but also the experience. So he must have prayed for something to happen one day, and his prayers were answered. And so he goes, it works. So I'm going to stay high vibrational, and this whole joy thing, this works. Obviously, Dale Curry had a lot to do with that. I'm sure I've said this before. I would love to ask Steph one of these days. When you got to go practice with Vince Carter and Muggsy Bogues and your dad drove you home after that fun day with Seth, did he turn to you and did he go, hey, Steph, enjoy this moment. Enjoy because it's special. That's Vince Carter. That's Muggsy Bogues. That's an NBA court you get to shoot on. And he goes, yeah, Dad. And that's when you're between the ages of 2 and 13. You're a sponge. You're just absorbing everything. And you're trying to make sense of what's happening. And you're putting two and two together. And you're realizing, yeah, Dad. I am joyful about that. I will remind myself to be joyful about everything. And so that's why Steph is so far ahead of us. I feel like I've figured it out. I'm not perfect. And I'm way behind Steph. But I have my own ways. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to spread the word. Yes, I was. Also, the reason I stopped being a reporter was a self-realization too, as well. Do you think Clutch is giving us an ultimatum? No. Oh, you're not there anymore. LeBron is just making a normal human decision. Delusional toddler? What are you talking about? Steph said the same thing over and over. What? So you're being low vibrational too? Well, actually, Yossi Goslin did come up with a way to keep LeBron. Is it bad? Impossible? It's not impossible. Is Murray getting traded? No idea. I think they're going to run it back, the Nuggets. DeMar DeRozan is free. Actually, he's not yet. He needs to be waived. So, FYI. Got to delete the misinformation. No offense. Naz Reid and Julius Randle were mid on defense, not against us. And that's all that matters. It doesn't. Who cares if they were mid against OKC? They were damn good against us because we were small. We have a chance against Wemby, and I think that's because Draymond knows how to play against Wemby. We have a chance against anybody, quite frankly. I just didn't want to, I wanted to just accept that there are tons of people that would never think that the Warriors could actually take OKC or San Antonio into 6 games, but I think we can. It just depends. And last season wasn't a very good example, and yet people don't understand that the reason why last year was so troublesome was because Steph was injured. But they will never, they're Steph stans on Twitter, so they will never, ever question Steph. Steph is like put on a pedestal and everything gets skewed at that point. So I don't know what to say. Like they just don't have the right context because everything, like Steph's gravity not only works on a basketball court, but it works on Twitter, on Warriors Twitter, unfortunately. They can't even, their whole train of thought gets warped around Steph. It's like Steph gravity in the mental space. Warriors won't get DeRozan. Yeah, I'd rather have Rui than DeRozan in terms of spacing. Utah might destroy us in the regular season, but we're sweep. Well put. I mean, yeah, right? That's the problem with our team too. And not only is it a good thing, but it's a bad thing. LeBron ain't going to Golden State, taxes, and well, we talked about all of that stuff. Koa Pete, yeah, rookie. Mark Williams doesn't scare me. Lakers walked away. I mean, they kind of had to. You got Luka, and without it ever being Luka wanted him out, which it never was. It's a clean slate. It's a breath of fresh air. All the Lakers fans wanted it. Actually trade for, no, I disagree. I disagree that LeBron is waiting on AD. He's just making his own decision. Yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Again, another thing where I'm glad you brought that up because if Cleveland's not trading for Anthony Davis, then why would the Warriors? Now, would they? Let's look at Cleveland's situation. I think Yossi and Sam Quinn looked at this. I'm not sure. They would have to trade. I think they'd have to trade Jared Allen to make it happen. So that one's a lot more realistic than Jimmy Butler for that one. So if you're all about the clutch needing AD or LeBron needing AD, well, then he's going to Cleveland. Then, okay. But you've got to conclude he's going to Cleveland. You can't conclude, again, this is one of those process by elimination things. You can't conclude that the Warriors are going to go get AD when it's Cleveland that's going to go get him, right? So that has to be eliminated. Like, that's how Sherlock Holmes's mind works. Try and get used to that. LeBron doesn't fit with Jimmy. LeBron fits with everybody in the NBA. I gotta delete that one. That's not good. Not a good take. Uh-oh, we gotta Lake up his let Steph rot. You're out of here. I don't think you want to be on Let's Go Warriors once again. We have a certain type of audience member that's probably not you because you're angry. Only someone with some kind of anger in there. I don't know what it is. It's probably not the Warriors. It's probably not Joe Lacob, unless Joe Lacob, I don't know, um, keyed your car or something. And it's probably not even that. You know, when somebody cuts you off on the road and you go and you have road rage on him, which I have done many times, it's not that guy. It's not the guy that cut you off. It's totally something else. Take that as an example, right? So if there's anything I can impart on you rather than just, oh, this is a Warriors channel and we're talking about the Warriors, can I maybe improve your life by a little bit by understanding that anytime you snap at somebody, whether it's Joe Lacob, whether it's me, whether it's somebody on Twitter, whether it's road rage, it's not really that person. There's something else going on that's really deep inside that you got to dig that out, or you've got to at least start on the journey to dig that out. As I told you, that a lot of my thing was with my dad, but it wasn't really my dad. It was understanding who he is, which made me understand myself better. So like when I used to play on the basketball court, I would be the one yelling at the ref, yelling at the other team. I never trash talked, but if someone talked to me, then I would escalate it. Why was I like that? Because my dad is that samurai warrior. It's been prevalent in my family all the time. We have short tempers. We always threaten to go psycho on you, and that's the culture of the Chinese actually. It's always that. They always want to one up you, that kind of thing. There are good qualities about the Chinese culture too. But I figured that out, worked on it, and still working on it. Sometimes some of you get me into that competitive phase, and I'm trying to find a way not to do that all the time. But if I can help you, you'll be like a happier person. Like, do you see Steph Curry doing this? I don't see Steph, you know, the most that he will do is go on Instagram and comment something that still seems pretty respectable. It never gets to a level. He never dips below that level. Why can't we all do that? And yet he's your idol. He's your role model. And you have no clue how to act that way. Well, I'm showing you how you can. It's looking in the mirror and trying to find that deep seated fear, deep seated resentment, whatever it is, that negative feeling that's really the cause of everything. Rebuild for Steph. Isn't that what you're doing? You're literally wanting to trade for AD for Steph. Oh, man. Did you answer? Okay, Trey Murphy, whatever. Here I am. I'm fighting with you again. See what you did? I'm almost just, I'm ready to just, whatever. I'll just have to ignore you. Calling me weird. That doesn't help. Let me change the requirement of commenting to 60 seconds so I don't have to see your handle so many times in a row. Man, reading comments is hard, man. It's like scrolling on Twitter. Everybody's got some kind of complaint or some kind of low vibrational negative thing to say. It's so tiring. That's why I'm so tired after these live streams. But I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, why do I even care about you so much? Like, I don't know. I got to figure that one out. Maybe I'm just too much like my mom based on principle. I think maybe it's just time to ignore. Chance to win a ring is with the Spurs. I don't think he's about that. He's not going to ring chase. And by the way, Showtime, isn't he coming off the bench for the Spurs? That's a problem. They just went to the finals. They're going to change the starting lineup just for LeBron. And I think LeBron wants to keep starting. You know, there's a thing in basketball. It's not ego driven. It's just, I guess it is ego driven, but not in a bad way. Like, to be a starter in the NBA over and over and over, like, it's something you can be proud of as an accomplishment, even though nobody really cares, or maybe there's somebody who cares about that. Even if I'm playing in my rec league, you know, it does. Just ask Andre Iguodala how hard that is to come off the bench. Elephant in the room, not really, but GP2, yeah, we'll see. Let's just one thing at a time. And while you're gone. You thought you're the most positive Warriors fan and you're here just trying to fight with me over and over. How's that positive? Well, at least you don't get to fight over and over. It's okay. I don't mind blocking people. I really don't. It's just the fact of life of being online and having a channel. That's why I want everything to be paywalled. Unfortunately, we're not at that point yet. I know times are tough. I think maybe we need to get a new president first and have a better economy. I think you can agree with me on that one. And the moment I'm able to get Yaxel on an interview, which that'll be my thing, and that's something I talked about recently, then all the paywalls are going to go up. If I have that extra access, yeah, man, like, it's going to be whittled down. The audience is going to be whittled down big time. And the way I'm going to pitch it to Yaxel is like, we're not just any other Warriors page. We're not even a reporter. We're better than that because we're high vibrational Warriors fans only that won't fight with you in the comments, that will seek to understand and seek to learn. And all you got to do is watch our live streams, Yaxel. Actually, it'll be Yaxel's manager. And just see that, you know, you're going to wish every NBA team had a Let's Go Warriors equivalent, because the way we do it, I honestly think is the best way, because we love the game too much. We really do. Like, I wouldn't be sitting here for 2 hours just talking about all this stuff and trying to impart some wisdom through the context of basketball if I didn't love the game this much. And it's been a part of me forever. I was credentialed with the Warriors. I stopped being credentialed with the Warriors because guess what? It's very competitive, too competitive. It was affecting my health, my mental health, and my physical health. Physical health, mostly meaning how you have to get on planes everywhere. And I mean, it's fun when you're young, but after you've been through it a few years or, a decade in my case, trying to tie up all the Airbnbs to this and that and red eye flights, it's not worth it. It's not worth it when you're not going to get appreciated at the end of the day. And I don't mean I wasn't appreciated by everyone. No, I mean certain individuals, even in the Warriors, didn't appreciate all the things I was doing. And they have something they're dealing with. So I do have compassion for that. And I have compassion for you too. But as far as tonight, you keep trying to cut me down and I got to put a stop to that. So because you might do that again and just go like crazy, like you're accusing me of being obsessed with you. Well, you did the same thing to me. So we got caught in the fisticuffs. The rest of the chat's rolling their eyes and going, golly, two people fighting each other in the comments. I'm trying to get my point across and you did not acknowledge to even listen to that. So I want to be around people that are open to listening, just like Dean Chambers. He comes on here and you've seen it. Like we consider everything and we don't throw everything under the bus the minute that we hear it. Now, unless I've been repeating myself over and over again and I get a little frustrated that the same question is being asked, even if it's a new person in the chat, well, you got to let me be human every now and then. But overall, yeah, it's just the love of basketball. And for me, spending a decade filming Steph hit 93 out of 100, I get to see Steph this upcoming weekend in Tahoe. Now, am I actually going to bump into him? Maybe, maybe not. I don't count on it, but lots of times he is in the media room doing an interview and I'll just say, hey, what's up? And it'll be my one time every year that I say, hey, what's up? But before that, it used to be every day. He would see me there, 6 million views. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't pay much for this. So like 6 million views, it's not much. It doesn't, it doesn't pay the bills. I'd have to have, be like, what's his name? Beast, Mr. Beast, 6 million every single video that you put out to actually, do this as a living. Although I do this as a living because I'm so passionate about the game. I love the game too much. But in August and September, yeah, I'm gonna have to go do some, DoorDash or what have you. No, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna, it's not, being a YouTuber isn't, just an easy path to cash. So yeah, if you want to donate, go to Buy Me a Coffee. buymeacoffee.com. Luckily though, I've got enough saved up so I won't starve, but at some point, you gotta go and do some stuff. But hey, I could be doing that right now. I could be out there working right now instead of being live with you guys, trying to impart some wisdom, some insider information. You're welcome, on that. So it's not, we're all here trying to love the game some more. LeBron said it on the shop. Thank you, Tingus. I'm still 45 minutes behind on comments, but oh well. The shop. Now I can't remember what the whole thing was. Oh, right. Yeah, I got you. LeBron is not playing for a minimum with the Rando franchise. I think you're right, but that's such laced with so much emotion behind it. I just hope you You don't get into a thumb typing fight with anybody in the chat. No, we've been stuck at 173 for like 4 years. It's okay. It's hard to find the right type of people. And as I said, there's a lot of people online that are low vibrational, so it's okay. I don't mind. I'd rather do this than just throw people under the bus all the time and make a podcast out of that. You say that like you're so sure that Brandon Williams is not going to help. I don't know. I think he'd help. I'm not saying he's going to save the franchise, but maybe you just need to word that a little bit better, because the moment it starts to sound negative, like you're throwing somebody under the bus without a lot of reasoning behind it, I kind of want to move on. How likely you think Braun goes to Golden State? Well, I divulged it at 50 minutes, 50-minute mark. Yeah, I divulged you too. I divulged it at the 50-minute mark. All right. Well, I gotta, go rest. What does JK land? I don't know. Lakers? Honestly, I don't care. People are traumatized. Yeah. Everybody's traumatized. Oh, there you go. Grounding therapy and journaling. Cat trade, yeah. Hey, what's up, Shakira Austin? Braun going to Philly? Yeah, if he wants to stroke that competitive gene. Oh, that's interesting. LeBron's the fourth option on every team. Oh, that's interesting. Want Wiggins and Clay? Well, they're way overpaid, so that's the problem. Maybe Clay, because now if we're going to be a tax team or a first apron team, thanks to if LeBron comes here or Rui or Brandon Williams, then we can get Clay on a buyout later, but we'd have to make a move, and that's in February. And yeah, Clay definitely gets paid too much right now. Rui is a good shooter, but can't play defense, so I'm a little worried about that. Warriors the only team that can offer 15 million. Let's see. It's in the previous video, but this video, Philly. So let me tag that to you. And I think Well, Minnesota can do it, but they got to trade Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Green. San Antonio can't even do it. And Denver would have to trade like Aaron Gordon or Cam Johnson, maybe. Probably Aaron Gordon. Yeah. So those are the other teams. They would have to make trades, but we would need to trade Moody. Hey, Philippines. Happy and chill. I mean, he's from Saginaw. I don't know, man. We'll see. Incorrect. They need to trade more than Josh Green. Oh, I unmuted you. That must have been Barber NBA going to the other account. All right, buddy. Cool. Let's call it a night. Thanks for joining. Sorry if I misunderstood you. I'm sure someone's probably thrown me under the bus, and then I throw them under the bus, and it was a misunderstanding. Whatever. Sign in trade. I think we're past sign in trade for Lakers per Yossi Goslin indirectly. Supercell Live, thank you for setting your alarm, but if you're just going to keep going on at this, what's the point? I mean, we all got things to do, right? Like, come to the next live stream. So if you're all butthurt about it, then you're all butthurt about it. Okay. Oops. I don't know what I did, honestly, but pretty sure you still want to trade for Trade Murphy, right? And you keep typing that in every live stream when that I'm on. That's why I wanted to know if you understand why we wouldn't trade for Trey Murphy. I threw a tendrum. I guess I should be feeling blessed that I'm in this position. So I am. I'm grateful that I have a hater in the chat. It's a privilege, honestly, Just like Draymond says, if you don't have any haters, you ain't doing shit. So cool. What does that mean? Oh, you don't understand the trade? Well, I don't have time for it, but well, LeBron's a free agent, but the Lakers could sign and trade him, although they would need to, work their cap sheet and all that. It's just we don't have time to go into this, but LeBron is not being signed and traded to come to the Warriors. So as far as the Warriors is concerned, he's coming here as a non-taxpayer mid-level free agent. There's no sign and trade because we would have to sign and trade right back. Even though I came up with this idea a long time ago, you'd have to sign and trade Porzingis right back. And for the millionth time on every live stream that I've said, I know you're new, but have grace in that I have to repeat myself literally probably 37 times over the last week. Yossi Goslin told me we're not trading Porzingis. It would not be a good look to extend him and then just trade him. I don't know really why. I just trust he knows more than I do. So we are not doing a sign and trade for LeBron. That is all. So now we can move on from that. Yeah, we all got to get to bed. Now I'm kind of worried. I got a stalker or something. Stop stalking me, man. Have a good one, Joshua. Next live stream. It's really hard for me to try and not make you feel bad about yourself. It's really hard to resist that because it's like you're poking me. You want me to. It's like you giving me, check ball up. Let's go play. But I don't want to be that competitive anymore. I just want to love the game of basketball. Next live is in the description. Where is that? I'm so tired of you, dude, that you made me so tired I can't even look up when the next live is. Tomorrow at 2:00 because there's one at 2, which maybe I'll start at 3 because I'm not too excited about the other summer league team. So 3:00 tomorrow, Sunday the 5th, Pacific time for Yaxel Part 2, Cali Classic. Try to be happy, man. Yeah, whoever you are, stalker, nah. Then I'm making you feel bad about yourself. I don't mean to do that. Be like Steph. Just be a nice person. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for your patience, because I know it's hard sometimes when I go off on tangents. One last look at the Discord, which is, a Twitter feed, and developing. Wait, what is developing? Denver Nuggets will begin negotiations with Peyton Watson. Wow. I don't know what you're going to do, Denver. Let's look at them real quick before we leave, because I love this, doing this stuff too much. Denver is like, so they got to waive Valanciunas, and how much are they going to pay Peyton Watson? 20 million? Just go over the second apron. They're right at the second apron right now. Wow, that's a lot of taxes. That's a lot of taxes. So I don't know about that Denver thing. Cavaliers. Summer League stuff. Oh, I already read all that earlier. Oh, what's this? Brandon Weems. Yeah, he's with the Cavs. Yeah, so it's probably neck and neck, and it probably just depends, again, to rope it all back. It depends on what LeBron feels like doing the day he needs to make the decision, the day he feels like making the decision. So to end on that with 73 in the stream, perfect. That's an interesting number. And this one being the last visual that we see. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Oh, Justice 123. Let's go Warriors and Brate.